We will discuss about what is intrinsic semiconductors and what is extrinsic semiconductors. We already know that two two conduct two semiconductors are there. They are germanium and silicon. Now, what is intrinsic semiconductor? You know that a semiconductor free from impurities, that is a pure semiconductor, is called an intrinsic or I-type semiconductor. I have already told you. It is pure semiconductor, germanium and silicon is known as intrinsic semiconductor. What is extrinsic semiconductors? Extrinsic semiconductors are formed by doping by doping by doping the germanium or silicon with some impurities. If you take pentavalent impurity like phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, you will get N-type semiconductor. If you add trivalent impurity as boron, aluminum, indium, then it becomes as a P-type semiconductor. What we have to know and what we have to remember is you have to remember that to germanium or silicon, if you add pentavalent impurity, it becomes N-type semiconductor and majority carriers are electrons. In N-type semiconductors, majority carriers are electrons. In P-type semiconductors, majority carriers are holes. So we will define what is extrinsic semiconductor. A semiconductor doped with impurity is called extrinsic semiconductor. If you add one p-type material with n-type material, you will get a p-n junction diode. It is a electronic valve. It is a electronic valve. Semiconductor diode valve. This is so. What is its function? It allows current in only one side. It allows current only one side. That is when it is P type is positive and N type is added to negative, connected to battery, negative of the battery. So if you connect P side to positive of the battery and N side to negative of the battery, then this connection is known as forward biased and current will flow through the diode in forward bias. Now in this case it is opposite. We are connecting P side to the negative of the battery and negative terminal and N side to the positive terminal. In this current not flows through the diode. So you have to remember this is a very important point. So there are two types of semiconductors. One is one is intrinsic semiconductors. Those are pure semiconductors. And second one is extrinsic semiconductors. In extrinsic semiconductors, to germanium you have to add pentavalent. Then it becomes N-type semiconductor. If you add trivalent impurity, it becomes P-type semiconductor. So this is the symbol for PN junction diode. This is a semiconductor diode. It allows current in only one direction. This is very important for both IPE and JE also.